Welcome to 10 minutes CS. 2491 divide players into teams of equal skill. We are given a positive integer array skill of even length n, where skill I denotes the skill of the ith player. We need to divide it in n by 2. That means let's say the n is 6, so we have to divide it into 3 teams. That will be n by 2 of size 2 players each team, and the chemistry of the team is equal to the product of the skills of the player on that team. Let's say a team has player 1 and 5, so its chemistry will be 1 into 5. We have to return the sum of the chemistry of all the teams. So let's say we have team 1 and 5, another team is 2 and 4, so this team chemistry will be 2 and 4. We have to sum all the chemistries and we have to return it. And if we are not able to form a team, then we have to return -1. So what will be the case when we are not be able to make a team will be when the total skill of each team are not equal. So let's say we are able to form a team 1 by 5 and other team is 2 and 3. So this team skill is 5 and this team skill is 6, so these are not equal. So in this case we will be returning -1. Now let's look at the example. We are given example 3 2 5 1 3 4 and the output is 22. Why? Because they are able to form team 1 5 2 4 3 3, and the chemistry they have calculated by multiplying the skills of the team and then they sum them all. Now let's think of it. For example, we are given a skill. For that skill, if we need to find the two elements such that when we group these elements in pair, we are able to make pairs of equal sum. That will only happen if we take a sum of the element of the lowest and the highest, we sum them and then we can just decrease it, sum of the lowest and the highest. Because when we are increasing the sum of one of the player and decreasing the sum of the other, decreasing the skill of the other of the player, then only the skill will be equal. For those case when both of the skills are increasing, in that case the skills won't be matching with the pairs that we have already calculated. Let's look at this example itself. It will make it more clear. So we have 3 2 5 1 3 and 4. If we sort them, so we will get 1 2 3 3 4 and 5. Now let's say we have one player is 1, another player is 5. So it will make 1 and 5, right? And the skill sum is 6 in this case. Now let's take another player 2 and 4. Now here we are increasing the value of the skill, and here we are decreasing the value of the skill. So if we increase and decrease by same amount such that the difference is 0, in that case our sum of the skill will remain same. So here we have increased by 1 and decreased by 1, so the difference is 0. So 2 and 4, the sum will again be 6. Now we'll increase our other pointers, and in this case it is our skill is 3 and this is also 3, so 3 comma 3, this will also be 6. And for finding the chemistry, we can simply just multiply the player skills and then add them on. This will give us 22. So what are the steps for our algorithm? We first need to sort them. Then we can take our two pointers I is equals to 0 and j is equals to n minus 1. For each step we can check if our p1, which is skill at I, and let's call it pi and pj, if its sum is equal to our first pair, then it's fine. If not, if the sum is not equal to the first pair that we have calculated, so we have to return -1. And simultaneously we can keep on adding the values to our chemistry variable, where we multiply the pi and pj and add it to our chemistry variable, and finally we will just return our chem. Now let's look at the code. First we sort it, then we initialize our variables, and we initialize our skill sum and chemistry. As we have to compare it with the pairs, so we should have the initial comparison value, right? So that's why we have first calculated the skill sum of our first pair, that is skill I and skill j. We increase our ith pointer and decrease our jth pointer, and we will calculate our chemistry also, that is the multiplication of the skills. Now for all the values such that our I is lesser than j, we have our pi and p2. We calculated sum. If its sum is not equal to the skill sum of our first pair, in that case we have to return -1, and otherwise we will just keep on adding the multiplication value of our pairs to the chemistry, and finally we will just return it. For the space complexity for this algorithm, as we haven't used any extra space, will be O of 1, and the time complexity will be, so we are just running a single iteration. That too, we, let's say our I is here, j is there, each time it is increasing and this is decreasing, and it meets at almost n by 2th if our n is the length of the array. So our time complexity will be n by 2, that is equal to big O of n only, that is linear time complexity. Now let's try to run this code on Leetcode platform. We'll submit it. Is the same code that was written there? Yes, it is accepted. Thank you for watching.